Hi there, class 11 students. This is your teacher Harpreet Kaur from English Frog Club, and I have come up with another video in the explanation series of the chapter The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse from your book Snapshot under NCERT publication. Without talking here and there, let's move straight into the explanation of the lesson right now. Let's move on. In the previous parts, we have read that Aram's cousin Murad got a horse and he invited Aram to ride on a horse, which was unbelievable to Aram. And when he started riding the horse did not allow him to ride and the horse was lost. His cousin Murad had searched for the horse and they hid the horse in a vineyard, and Aram had a hearty breakfast that morning. Now let's read further what the story has a surprise for us. That afternoon, my uncle Khosrow came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byro, Syrian who, out of loneliness, had learned to speak Armenian. My mother had brought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. And then at last, sighing sadly, he said, "My white horse, which was stolen last month, is still gone. I cannot understand." Okay, so that afternoon, Uncle Kasarov came to his house and he was just enjoying his coffee, etc. in the parlor. At the same time, there came another visitor who was an Assyrian, but as he was living all alone there, so he had learnt some Armenian. His name was John Byro, and he came to their house, and her mother entertained him with coffee and cigarette. And there he very sadly told them that he had lost his horse a month ago and still he hadn't got the horse back. My uncle Khosrow became very irritated and shouted, "It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say." John Byro said, "But what of my surrey? What good is a surrey without a horse?" "Pay no attention to it," my uncle Khosrow roared. "I walked 10 miles to get here," John Byro said. "You have got legs," my uncle Khosrow shouted. Okay, it was Uncle Khosrow's nature that he used to get irritated, and same thing happened here when John Byro declared the loss of his horse. Uncle Khosrow shouted irritatedly, and that what is the harm of it is of no harm, and he is just lamenting over the loss of a horse, and they have lost even the country, even the fields and their homelands, everything, and why he was just crying over a horse. So John Byro said it was okay for a city dweller like them to work without a horse, but he, being a villager, he needed his horse for his surrey, because a surrey is useless without the horse. But Uncle Khosrow was of the same nature. He kept on roaring and he said, "Pay no attention." And John Byro just pleaded that he had walked 10 miles to get here to talk to you. And then Uncle Khosrow said, "You've got legs and you can talk and you can walk." Further, John Byro said, "My legs pains me," the farmer said. "Pay no attention to it," my Uncle Khosrow roared. "That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. "I spit out money," my Uncle Khosrow said. He got up and stagged out of the house, slamming the screen door. So there was a heated dialogue between Uncle Khosrow and John Biro, where John Biro tried to explain his problem, but Uncle Khosrow was not in a position to listen at all, and that he made John Biro irritated and hopeless. So he in that only he also got angry, and he went out of the home, slamming the front screen. My mother explained he has a gentle heart. She said it is simply that he is homesick and such a large man. The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Murad's house. Okay, Aram's mother tried to explain Uncle Khosrow's behavior, irritated behavior. She said actually he is very kind at heart, but he is helpless because he feels homesick, and since when he has lost his homeland, he has become like that only. And the farmer went away. As soon as the farmer went away, our narrator Aram went to his cousin Murad to tell him that he came to know that this horse belongs to John Biro, and it's been 1 month that Murad had been riding this horse. Okay, so he went running to Murad and he wanted to talk to him. He was sitting under peach tree to repair the hurt wings of a young robin which could not fly. He was talking to the bird. What is it? He said. Okay, when Aram reached there, he saw his cousin Murad talking to a bird who had got her wing hurt, and Murad was repairing the wing. Then Murad inquired his reason of coming there. Okay, Aram replied, "The farmer John Biro, I said. He visited our home. He wanted his horse. You have had it a month. I want you to promise not to take it back until I ride." Okay, so here he wants to get a promise from his cousin Murad not to return the horse till Aram learns how to ride. Let's look at the reply of his cousin Murad. "It will take you a year to learn to ride," my cousin Murad said. "We could keep the horse a year," I said. My cousin Murad leaped to his feet. "What?" he roared. "Are you inviting a member of the Galilean family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner." "When?" I said. "In 6 months at the latest," he said. Okay, so Aram wanted the horse to be with them only till the time he learns, and Murad was of the opinion that he will be taking a lot of time to learn to ride. Okay, and Aram said they would keep the horse for a year. Okay, and then for this Murad really got angry and said, "You're inviting a member, you're asking a member of this tribe who is known for honesty to steal." And then Aram inquired how long, when he's going to return the horse back. Aram said that, Murad said that in 6 months time. Okay, not before 6 months. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away high and straight. Early every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it, and rode it. And every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapevines and small trees and threw me and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in this time to learn to ride the way my cousin Murad rode. So both of them were enjoying the horse rides, and Murad was able to control the horse very easily, whereas the narrator Aram was not able to control the horse at all. But still he hoped that after a passage of time he would be able to ride the horse all alone. One morning on the way to Fitvisian's deserted vineyard, we ran into the farmer John Biro, who was on the way to the town. Let me do the talking, my cousin Murad said. I have a way with farmers. Okay, so one day they just got caught. John Byro was there in front of them. He was on his way to town and he saw them with the horse, and Aram really got scared. Oh my God, what's going to happen now? But Murad was confident. Yes, he said he knew the way with farmers, so he'll handle everything. No need to worry at all. Let's see what happened when John Byro saw his horse with the boys. Good morning, John Byro, my cousin Murad said to the farmer. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. Okay, as Murad wished John Byro was trying to study the horse, as that horse was resembling to his horse. Okay, so he was trying to study the horse intently. Good morning, son of my friends, he said. What is the name of your horse? My heart, my cousin Murad said in Armenian. A lovely name, John Byro said. A lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago. May I look into his mouth? Of course, Murad said. Okay. So he examined the horse and he instinctly he came to know that it was his horse, and he just exchanged a few words with Murad, asking the name of the horse, and he said that this horse looked like his stolen horse, and he asked Murad to allow him to examine his mouth, to which Murad readily agreed. The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse. Tooth for tooth, he said. I would swear it is my horse if I didn't know your parents. The fame of your family for honesty is well known to me. Yet the horse is the twin of my horse. A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. Good day, my young friends. Good day, John Byro, my cousin Murad said. So, here John Byro came to know that it was his horse, but he never dared to say that it was his own horse, because here he was known to the personality trait of honesty of the family, and that is why he said that if you would have not been the members of that family, I would have been suspicious that it was his horse. But now he said this thing only, that the horse looks as if it is the twin of his horse. So John Byro left that place. Early the following morning, we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad. I thought they would bark. They would at somebody else, he said. I have a way with dogs. So again, now they have returned the horse. Next morning, they went to John Byro's farm and vineyard to keep the horse back, and there were dogs in the barn. So Aram was really scared what would happen if dogs would bark, but Murad said he had a way with the dogs, and really the dogs didn't bark at all. They followed them. My cousin Murad put his arms round the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and then we went away. That afternoon, John Byro came to our house in his surrey and showed my mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. I do not know what to think, he said. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered too. I thank God my uncle Kosorov, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted, Quiet, man, quiet. Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it. So, they kept the horse back in his barn, and John Byro was really happy to get his horse back, and that afternoon only he visited them he visited Aram's house and told them that he had got his horse back, which was being stolen a few months ago. And he was really happy that he said that it was not generally it happens then when an animal is stolen, that animal is weak, but Murad had taken good care of horse, and John Barrow was really happy that there he found a lot of changes in the horse. He was healthier and better tempered, and he thanked to God that he had got his horse back. And Uncle Kasparov in the same manner and shouted and roared at John Barrow and said, "You have got your horse back, now pay no attention to it." That's all in the last explanation video of this chapter, The Summer of a Beautiful White Horse, in the book Snapshot under NCERT publication. So, I, Harpreet Kaur, wish to take leave now, but before leaving, I would like to remind you to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates of my video. Do leave a comment in the comment box. What do you think made the boys return the horse? That's all now.